I had an interest in Norse mythology, and so I thought to myself, if I wanted to tell this tale about advocacy, I could perhaps hide it or couch it within this story that is steeped in Norse mythology, and folks could enjoy it. And I think that I've achieved that mission. My name is Stephen Williams. I'm an author of a fantasy series called the Prozetta series. Prozetta series is a Norse-based series. The first book is Skadi, the second book is Tira, and the third book is Skadi and the Geats. Each one has a relatively different theme, but collectively they're focused on advocacy and being engaged and trying to do right by your communities. Every kid deserves a high-quality education, no matter their background. I ran for school board. I tried to be an advocate for the community that I live in. There were some lessons that were learned in that experience that I wanted to share. Stories that are focused on mythology have a tendency to focus on the gods. My stories focus on the people who live in those worlds. The reason I chose Norse mythology is because in 2016, I visited Iceland with my then girlfriend, but now wife. We explored saga museums, really got a feel for the culture. My wife and I then got engaged on that trip. And then the following year, in 2017, we got married in Iceland. And those two experiences in Iceland formed my decision-making around writing about Norse mythology. Skadi is a Viking. Her husband passes, and so she's looking out for her son and trying to do right by him, recognizing that Midgard is a very dangerous place to be. Skadi, as an individual, is forced to recognize that her going out to try and save just her son isn't enough. She should be fighting for her community. The second book is called Tira. In fantasy, there's a trope where dark characters tend to be villains. Being a person of color myself, I wanted to flip that trope on its head and portray the dark elf Tira as a hero. And so that story is a coming-of-age story, but it also explores identity and where she fits into this world that might not be the kindest to her. The third book, Skadi and the Geats, is picking up on where Skadi left off. She has achieved this sort of level of fame throughout Midgard, which has come with some good things and it's come with some bad things. The bad things being that she is now on the radar of other nefarious characters, some far more malevolent than the beast that she faced in the first book. I feel that this story is a bit more grounded, actually. The characters are mostly human in the story also, and so they have very human desires that are driving the events of the book. Writing is a passion of mine that I've had since childhood. The first story that I can remember writing was about the three little pigs and their evil fourth brother named Evil Ethan. Sometimes I would even draw pictures to accompany those stories, and my dad would take them to Kinko's to have them made into comic books. It wasn't until, I think, 2012 that I finally wrote a full-length novel. I was working in Pittsburgh for this parking garage. It wasn't necessarily where I wanted to be career-wise. I brought my laptop with me, and every day at work, managing this parking garage, I would there and I would type out a story. Many, many, many novels later, in 2020, Sunbury Press accepted Skadi. When I heard that Sunbury was willing to publish my story, I cried. I had been writing for so long and had gotten plenty of rejection letters that had become the norm. I didn't let the rejections define what I thought I could be. I saw them as opportunities to grow. Like, I don't have a formal training in this, but I was forced to acquire all the knowledge that one might get in a formal training. It's been a lot of fun. The overwhelming number of people who have read these books really seem to enjoy them. The people who are into fantasy are really into it. I've even had folks that are not into fantasy say, I don't normally read fantasy, but this I enjoyed. I've gotten to have experiences like meeting with folks in person, doing book signings. This too has been an emotional experience, the journey being a published author. I love anime. Some of my other inspirations are folks like Alex Haley. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X in college while studying abroad. That was a profound experience. Oh, and the big one, Anthony Bourdain, the biggest inspiration as a person that I have. So I have 3 more books in this series, and then it wraps. If you are interested in fantasy, if you want something that might entertain while teach you a small lesson, I think that my books are worth a read. For those who want to write or really engage in any creative endeavor, I would say don't limit yourself. There's going to be a lot of folks that tell you why you can't do something, but you got to be the one that tells you why you can.